Yo, gamer name here and welcome to another Tekken 7 YouTube video, and today my boys are gonna be taking a look at a Tekken intro tier list. That's right, the tier lists of intros of every single goddamn Tekken game. Like let's go. I'm hyped to make this one. I'm really excited. Tekken has some banger intros, right? The nostalgia of the more older intros. So I thought, man, let's just look back. I just try to rate all the openings and see where each of them fall on the tier list. So my tiers will be from S to D tier. So S, A, B, C and D. No D minus or S plus, stuff like that. So really basic tier lists from Tekken 1 all the way through to Tekken 7. I will skip Tekken Revolution because it doesn't really count, let's be honest. So Tekken 1 Tekken 7 excluding Tekken Revolution. So without further ado my boys, let's get right into it. Okay, so first we have the Tekken 1 intro. That's the first thing that always comes to mind when I watch this intro. Like, Tekken 1 old as hell. And I'm not that old, guys. I'm not that old. I have never played Tekken 1. But watching back this intro, there's nothing really too crazy about it. But just the nostalgic feel and having to know the fact that this is where it all began, guys. Like, this was it. The beginning of something great. Who would have known that this would turn out to be my favorite game of all time? Tekken, man. Goddamn Tekken. So the intro is pretty cool. It shows off one of the beginning characters, the OGs, the King, Law, Nina. It's pretty cool. Touches on the storyline a bit. The classic Paul with the bike. I love it. The whole 90s feeling. It's pretty chilled, but like nothing too special. I know the older players or the older people who can rate it a little bit higher because you actually played the game. I have not played Tekken 1, and the intro, to be honest, is pretty cool. It's really cool, but it's like, nothing too great about it, but it's like, it's okay. Man, that's why it all started from. And for that fact, I will give Tekken 1 a B tier rating. So B, which is hella mid, nothing special, and that's why I think Tekken 1, in my opinion, makes it at B tier. Okay, like the classic retro music, the one thing I will give the older Tekken games, 1 and 2 in particular, is the classic old school retro music. Like the music is what's getting me. So just like Tekken 1, Tekken 2, I did not play. Like I wasn't that old. I'm not that old, guy. So I didn't play Tekken 2 either. I always have to look back and see the Tekken 2 intro, and honestly, this one was great. I think it was a little bit better than Tekken 1. Like as you see just from my rankings, like every Tekken intro just gets better and better and better, and 2 was a huge improvement from Tekken 1. So just like Tekken 1, it shows much lore of the characters, much more lore. I mean, like the intro is basically Heihachi climbing a fucking cliff. Like guys, how sick is that? Because we all know in Tekken 1, Kazuya first gets revenge over his grandfather throwing him over the cliff, and so I think it ends with Kazuya throwing him over the cliff this time. So Tekken 2 opens up with Heihachi climbing the cliff. Like how sick is that? How sick is that? So insane. And just for that fact, I think Tekken 2 is like way better than Tekken 1 intro. So I think I will give Tekken 2 an A tier placement. Like it's really good. Honestly, if someone says S tier, I wouldn't blame you. But just for the fact that I've never really played Tekken 2, but looking back on it, it's really good. And this is why I think its A placement is good enough. My first Tekken, let's go. Tekken 3, oh my god, I have a lot to say about Tekken 3, my freaking childhood nostalgia. I love Tekken 3. I love Tekken 3, my first Tekken game. This opening is very, very nostalgic to me. Honestly, I might place this in S tier just for the nostalgic alone, but come on, I think everyone knows that Tekken 3 is a legendary game. People consider this game one of the greatest Tekken games of all time, and honestly, I can't argue with that fact. I grew up watching my brothers play this game day in, day out. I was really, really young at the time. I was a very, very young kid. But I still remember, like, just the intro used to get me every time. Just seeing this play on the PS1 and just knowing that my brothers are about to start kicking each other's ass, bro. Like, oh my god, the nostalgia. It's really, really good. Introduces Jin in Tekken 3, brings the story of the Devil Jin as well. They bring Olga in here, they bring Horang. Man, it's a very, very, man, it's so good. It's just so good. Like, Tekken 3 is where the lore really kicks off. Like, this is where the Tekken lore becomes, like, really, really deep. And for that fact, oh my god, coupled with the nostalgia as well, S tier for sure. One of the greatest Tekken openings of all goddamn time. Tekken 3, S tier, easy. Tekken Tag Tournament 1. So just like Tekken 3, Tag 1 was played a lot by my brothers. Like growing up, I used to watch them play this all the time. It's not a game I really played, but it's very, very memorable. Like especially on the competitive scene, like Tekken Tag 1 is like where it really put Tekken on the map competitively, in my opinion. Now again, I was really, really young, so my memory is not really, really good on Tekken Tag 1, but watching it back, I remember this intro. I remember this intro as a kid, seeing June. Oh my god, this is when June returned after missing what, Tekken 3. So it was really, really good to see her back. And just like the Tekken Tag thing, the whole team-based game for the first time, it was really fun as well. I was a kid, guys. Like I was really, really young, so I won't really place this based on like what I remember. But that's all I have, so that's all I can do. But watching it back like right now and like placing it, I don't know. I don't think it's better than Tekken 2. I don't think it's better than Tekken 3. I think it's just alright. I don't think it's better than Tekken 1. This is a bit difficult. Tekken Tag 1 intro. It's very basic, you know, nothing to go on, nothing to show for. Just shows the characters moving around and stuff. So I think it's gonna be my first C tier. So C tier for Tekken Tag 1. I think that's fair, guys. Can't be better than 1, 2, and 3 in my opinion. So I think C tier is fair. Tekken 4 with the classic intro of Heihachi getting revenge over his son and throwing him down the volcano cliff. Sick. Freaking sick. Confession time though, I've actually never played Tekken 4. Tekken 4 is the only Tekken game I have never played. Imagine that, like it's crazy. I have played Tekken Revolution, but I have never played Tekken 4. So honestly, I can't speak much about Tekken 4. But as far as the intro goes, watching it back, you know, when I was just checking out Tekken 4, saw the trailer, saw the intro, oh my god, S tier, easy. Easy S tier. Just like Tekken 3, it brought the same hype, bro. The return of Kazuya. Nani? He's still alive. It was sick. It was sick, bro. The fucking red eye glowing. Dude, Tekken 4 intro, oh my god, god tier, god tier. If there was an S plus rating, this would have been in S plus. I do feel it's a little bit better than Tekken 3. It dives deep, it has more oomph just for the fact that they show Kazuya in that way. Like Tekken 2 shows Heihachi climbing a cliff. That's all they show, right? And at the end they show him like he's still alive. But Kazuya, bro, they show him kicking everyone's ass, bro. Then he just shows up on the screen with the freaking red eye. Like, come on. Come on, how sick is that? I hold the cards now. Dude, this intro was sick. Honestly, you know it, I know it. Easy S tier. S plus for sure.
I'm here now. I'm doing the best I can. But are you now? It's your dreams come true.
I'm here now. I'm doing the best I can. Enough said. Enough said. Tekken 5, the greatest of all time, the GOAT. This intro is the greatest intro a fighting game has ever seen. Not just Tekken, but a freaking fighting game. Memorable as fuck. This intro, oh my god. Oh my god. Tekken 5 is a game where I actually started becoming good at the game, where I understood the game. Man, Tekken 5. We need a Tekken 5 remake. I'm gonna say it. We need a Tekken 5 remake. If they ever remake fighting games, Tekken 5 should be the first. Like, everything about this intro is perfect. Everything, the intro, bro. The lore, the continuation of the lore from Tekken 4, right? Heihachi in the Honmaru building after the fight, the freaking Jax attack, bro. Kazuya betraying Heihachi, the introduction of Raven. How do you introduce a character like that? That was sick. Heihachi Mishima is dead. Like, come on, guys, come on. The lore with Feng and his master, just the way they show every character in the game, the influence of the Devil Jin on Jin. Just everything. The Honmaru building gets destroyed. Freeze Jinpachi, who's been in prison there. Like, oh my god, everything was perfect about this intro. You know it, I know it, there is no debate. Tekken 5 intro is one of the greatest intros ever seen in a freaking fighting game. S+++ tier for sure. I'm sorry Tekken 4, you're good, but man, Tekken 5 is unmatched. Tekken 5 is unmatched and easily S+ tier.
Heihachi Mishima is dead.
The King of Iron Fist Tournament 6. Confession time, guys. Tekken 6 is my favorite Tekken game of all time. That's right, even over Tekken 5. So what I loved about Tekken 6 is the fact that it gave us so much content. There were so many changes. I think the most changes that has ever been seen in a Tekken game. Like a transition of Tekken 5 to Tekken 6. There were so many changes we introduced to the combo system of the bound. We had so many customization modes, so many game modes and a freaking cracked customization mode. So Tekken 6 for me is my favorite game of all time. It introduced my favorite character as well. It introduced Lars to me. So for me, Tekken 6 always has that memorable spot. So as far as the intro goes, the intro is great. Tekken 6 intro is great, don't get me wrong, but it is not as good as Tekken 5 and Tekken 4 maybe. I love Tekken 6, but the intro, not as good in my opinion. We introduced to so many new characters, Leo, Bob, Zafina, Azazel. You know, this is when the war starts. We get a glimpse of that. The church, the Mishimas are about to blowing up the church. Miguel, you know, holding his sister, yelling as the camera floats by, goes to the sky. really epic scenes. We have Bob dodging bullets and shit. It's a memorable intro. Don't get me wrong, it's memorable. I remember seeing this back when I was in high school, and I was super hyped, bro. Seeing that Lars intro, oh my god. And at that time, we're just watching Naruto, so like anime is all over the place. So for me, it just holds a special spot in my mind, like in my heart. But like I said, not as good as Tekken 5, not as good as Tekken 4 as well. So I think an A tier placing is good for Tekken 6. Tekken 6 intro is good, very memorable, and I think A tier is fair. Yeah, A tier for Tekken 6 for sure. Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Okay, the Tekken Tag 2 intro was really good. It was really good. I think this was the arcade version, if I'm not mistaken. The OG console version is the one that starts with Jinpachi in the car. But I think both of them are just as good, so I'll use the arcade version for intro because I like this one more. The Fang vs Heihachi intro, really sick. Really sick. The Tag 2 intro is sick, guys. The choreography, this is the fact that it's implementing it's showing the tag system, you know, 2 characters each on the same side against 2 characters on the opposite side. You know, it's really good. You know, true ogre busting outside of the ring with Angel at the end. I really love this intro. Tekken Tag is a game where I actually became like competitive. Like I really became good. I understood the game, frame data, punishment, all that stuff. Tekken Tag 2 was that game for me, and the intro will remain memorable. Like I'll keep saying this for most of the Tekken game intros, but Tekken Tag, like come on guys, Tag, you can't hate on the Tag 2 intro. You just can't hate on the Tag 2 intro. It's really good. We're given a shitload of character. Every character in the Tekken game returned except from Gong, who was a guest character. But all in all, Tag 2 was a great intro. As far as placement goes, it has to be A tier. Like at the beginning of A tier, it can't hit Ace, guys. It can't be as good as Tekken 5, I'm sorry. A tier is good enough for Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Okay, so that finally brings us to our last installment in the Tekken franchise so far, Tekken 7. Now, Tekken 7 for me is the worst intro of them all. Like, I'm sorry. I know they try to do something different here, like with the credits, the movie scenes, the different scenes, but just something that doesn't really sit right with me with the mashup, right? They're trying to tell a story, but like they don't really just do a full-on intro. I think they focused too much on the lore. I think that's what they went for with Tekken 7. They wanted to push the lore a lot, right? Even with the story, with the reporter and everything. I remember there was so much, like the advertisement for Tekken 7 was, I mean, the story was what was advertised so much, right? The introduction of Akuma, just everything, Kazumi, going back to the past with Kazumi. So I think they focused this a little bit too hard, to the point that instead of giving us a good Tekken intro showcasing the characters like they did in the previous titles, they focused solely on the story mode of Tekken. That's really what took me kind of out of this one. It's not a bad intro, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. There's no bad Tekken intro. It's just not as good as the rest, and that's just how it is. It's a shame though, because Tekken 7 is a great game. We all know this. It's revolutionized Tekken, right? The biggest Tekken of all time. The numbers, the sales, it speaks volumes, right? We cannot be getting Tekken 8 without a Tekken game, you know. So give credit where credit is due. However, the intro is just not as good as everything else. The fights with Akuma are sick, I'll give that, you know. They do show a few characters, but just not as good as, like, all the scenes we're seeing here are just all from the story mode. They basically just got everything from the story mode and made it an intro. right? You don't see that. We didn't see this in the other Tekken intros. So this is why Tekken 7 just stands out, you know, in a bad way, right? It's not bad, just not as good. And that's the only reason why Tekken 7 makes it at D tier, the worst intro amongst them all. D tier for Tekken 7. So there you have it, guys. My placements of all the Tekken intros in my opinion. I would love to see what you guys think. Which do you think is the best intro of all time, and which do you think is the worst? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'm interested in knowing that. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed my video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys for your support as usual, and yeah, take care, my boys. GG.